Hello folks, and welcome back to The Vault. This is Josh coming back with another video. If you guys can do me a favor, drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Hello everyone. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. There we go. Thank you, Militia3333. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I've got some interesting stuff that we're going to cover today. Let's see. Great Gam says, still waiting. Okay, so hopefully everybody can hear me. Let's see. I'm live. All right, perfect. Thanks, guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Share screen. KR, good to see you. Helen, good to see you. Thank you guys so much for joining. All right. And share. Okay. So bear with me while I pull up a few things here. So what I did last night is I went into my Pacer account, and I was able to pull up a bunch of information on Jeremy. Now, let's go here. Okay, so this is part of the exhibits from the Pacer account. Now, I'm going to go over everything kind of in depth. Now, I'm going to be careful about what I show because you got to be careful, right? Black Magic Girl, good to see you here. Helen, KR, Why Bother, Great Gams, Militia3333. Good to see you, my friend. This guy's a great supporter. So I just want to say thank you for everything, man. He helped really encourage me when I was going through some issues with the channel. So thank you guys so much. All right. So the exhibits from Osceola County were linked to the federal case. Okay, let's see. So this just shows the linking of the exhibits. Now I'm going to pull up the next one, and trust me, they're going to get much better as we go. Okay, so here is the plea. Sentencing was scheduled for December 30th, 2024. Okay, so we know he got his plea, right? Now the sentencing memorandum, here's where it gets interesting. All right, factual and procedural background. Dewitte adopts facts in PSR minus the previous objections. March 27, 2024, a federal grand jury indicted Dewitte. Both counts charge him with willfully making false tax returns in violation of Title 26. Goes through a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. Okay. Now, see the nature and circumstances of the offense and history and characteristics of the defendant. So you're going to see some lies in here that Jeremy continuously tells. So it's about to get interesting. Okay, the nature and circumstances of this defense, as well as the history and characteristics of Dewitte, weigh in favor of a sentence of certainly no more than 33 months. Facts support Dewitte's request for a sentence certainly no more than 33 months. With regard to Dewitte's personal characteristics, Dewitte is 44 years old. He was born in Newport Richey, Florida. His parents separate at age 3. He loves his mother and refers to her as a saint. He had no meaningful contact with his father, who passed away from cancer in 2018. His stepfather passed away from cancer in 2014, and he has one child. His wife lost her job due to absences, which resulted from taking care of their sick child. Now, I don't recall that, but, whatever. Dewitte had multiple surgeries from a motorcycle accident in 2014. Now, keep in mind, all of this was submitted by Jeremy to help mitigate his sentence, okay? Not Jeremy, he don't ever lie. That's right, Gary. Let's see. So his wife lost her job due to absences, which resulted from taking care of their sick child. So she lost her job. I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised. Dewitte had multiple surgeries from a motorcycle accident in 2014, which resulted in being in a coma for a month. We all know this part is a lie. The crazy part to me is, yes, we got merch, my friend, Civil Defense Canada. We'll go over that later, okay? We'll go over that, my friend. I've got it. All right. So we all know he was not in a coma for a month, okay? I'm sure this is true, right? He has brain trauma, memory loss, anxiety, depression, and ideation. I can't say that word. He has a bachelor's degree. He does not. He absolutely does not. Evidence about defendant's background is relevant because the belief long held, in quotes, by society that the defendants who commit criminal acts that are attributable to a disadvantaged background or to emotional or mental problems may be less culpable than defendants who have no such excuse, blah, blah, blah. Dewitte's background is not an excuse for his actions, but it does explain why he would commit the charged offense. All right. Purpose of the sentencing and so on. So essentially what he's saying is, please don't give me more than 33 months, which is ridiculous. Now, both counts carried a minimum of 3 years. Minimum, right? So he entered into a plea. All right. See, conclusion for the reasons stated herein. Dewitte respectfully urges the court to impose a sentence of certainly no more than 33 months. Alternatively, and in conjunction, Dewitte asks the court to downwardly depart and or to vary or adjust a sentence downward from the advisory guideline range. Such a sentence will be reasonable and adequately take into account the advisory guideline range and the factors set forth. Such a sentence will be fair and just punishment, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there's that. Now let's go to the next one. We're going to get into the federal case details, right? So this is just kind of the charges, but there's a document that has a lot more information here. I just need to make sure I'm not sharing anything private. And I'm not. It also goes over the details for when he's released. All right, so he had the 2 different charges. This is when he filed his tax returns, and he filed a false tax return. And this is where he's going to be confined. Now, he was actually given 41 months total, so 8 months more than what he was requesting. Defendant is hereby committed to the custody of the United States Bureau of Prisons to be imprisoned for a total of 41 months. Term consists of 36-month term to count 1 and a 5-month term to count 2 to run consecutively to count 1. The terms of imprisonment imposed by this judgment shall run consecutively with the defendant's terms of imprisonment imposed pursuant to the judgment of Osceola County Court docket, the case back from 2022. So as we all thought, it is all consecutive, okay? All right, so we're going to keep going. All right. Upon a release from imprisonment, you will be supervised on a supervised release for 1 year. The term consists of 1 year as to count 1 and 1 year as to count 2. All such terms should run concurrently. So his probation is going to be concurrent, or probation or parole, whatever they call it. And excuse me. To stay in compliance, you must not commit another federal, state, or local crime. You must not unlawfully possess a controlled substance. Mandatory drug testing requirements. You must make restitution in accordance with blah, 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 and any other statute authorizing a sentence restitution. And then he's also got to give collection of DNA. All right, now it goes into the different standards of supervision and so forth, but I'm just not going to get into that. But his restitution is totaling $69,461. Insane. A lot of money. Additional conditions of supervised release. The defendant shall participate in a mental health treatment program, outpatient or inpatient, to follow the probation officer's instructions regarding implementation of this court directive. Further, the defendant shall contribute to the costs of these services not to exceed the amount determined reasonable by the probation's office sliding scale for mental health treatment services. The defendant shall be prohibited from incurring new credit charges. This one's interesting to me. So he's not allowed to have new credit cards, opening additional lines of credit, or making an obligation for any major purchases without approval of the probation officer. The defendant shall provide the probation officer access to any requested financial materials. So he's not allowed to open up any credit cards. You know how he had like 30 credit cards or something crazy like that, right? So how long do you think Jeremy will be able to pull that off? He is required to cooperate in collection of DNA as directed by the probation officer, and he shall pay restitution in the amount of $69,461 and adhere to schedule of payments listed herein. Now, essentially, what they're going to ask him is for payments of $100 per month, right? Which is, I mean, it's nothing crazy, but coming out of prison after 8 or 9 years or whatever, however long it is, it's pretty substantial. Now, for anybody that just joined, we're going through the federal case details. Just want to give everybody a heads up. All right, let's go on to the next one. And don't worry, guys, we'll get into the merch soon. We're going to go over the merch from the store and go through all that information, okay? Okay, so here are the federal sentencing documents from January 7, 2025. Defendant sworn imprisonment of 41 months, the 36 and the 5 that we spoke about before, and confinement at FCI Coleman, and then supervised release of 1 year. So 1 year, he won't be able to have credit cards and stuff like that. Let's see, special conditions on supervised release are mental health treatment, no new credit card charges or cards, collection DNA payment or restitution. And there's a special assessment fee of $200, and he was remanded into custody. Okay, so that is the federal case. Now, let's go over the merch. Okay, so I listened, and I started a new merchandise store. So there's all these different fun little colors. This one says Metro State Certified Agent. State certified agent, higher than security, less than police. And we got a bunch of different colors here. And I chose kind of a nicer shirt that they're, kind of like softer. Yeah, just better overall, right? Better quality. Let's see. I like this one right here. All right. Metro State, estimated 1980 minus 37. And a bunch of different colors. Hopefully you guys like it. And we can make some more too. Does anybody have anything they want to see on a shirt? Yeah, the certified agent line. I love it too. Civil Defense Canada. Hopefully you like the shirts. And then I also created a phone cover. And it's for all these different types of phones. If your phone doesn't fall within here, I can add more, right? Metro State, motor officer, your badge number, and it's got a little vault up at the top. But anyway, I just thought that was funny. And this one here, get me a lieutenant. We got all these different colors. True Navy, ice blue. Lots of different colors going on. But yeah, get me a lieutenant, and it's a picture of Jer Bear. Let's see what else we got. Anyone get a little motor badge? Oh, little motors. Hold on, let me write that down. I need to make a little motors t-shirt. What else do we got, folks? What do you want to see? Something with WALAHI? Motor 1 is moving to another cell. There you go. Hold on. I think I've got one that says Motor 1 is moving. Oh, no, this one. Motor 1, estimated -37. You better figure it out. This one comes in a bunch of different colors, too. I hope you guys like them. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You better figure it out, folks. Yeah, after the stream, guys, leave it in the comments for me. That way I can go through them and write them down. Steve Foster said, yeah, I like that one. Orange screwdriver, long handle. Oh, that's a great one. Do you guys like the color choices? Orange screwdriver, long handle. Come on. That's neither here nor there. That's a good one. How about the supposed internet? Neither here nor there. Dark gray and black is always appreciated. Okay, so I've got black in a couple of them. I think this one's got black right there. Yep, there's black for you there. Got kind of this blue color. Black tees. Okay, you like black. Can we get pics in the word? Yeah, that one's tough. Black Magic Girl. That one's tough. Red, 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 red. State certified agency. That's a good one. All right, state certified agency. State certified agency. Now, we're not done here. I'm going to open up the Orange County and Osceola files, just see what's going on there, and we'll do an update. Prison bars and coffee packs. Oh, there we go. Prison bars and coffee packs. Like a picture of prison bars, and then coffee packs below it. And coffee packs. Act as if. That's a good one. Metro State, act as if. I was going to put an F-boy one. Okay, Gary, I got you. Okay, so let's go over to Orange County and check out what's going on there. Shauna Lynn, I did nothing wrong. That's a good one. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. I did nothing wrong. That's why I'm in prison for a decade. I'm confused. Oh, dude, they're always confused, aren't they? Jen and Jeremy? Always confused. Like, he got her on that, too. I'm confused. And then they did this confusion back and forth for like 30 minutes in a phone call. It was amazing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll leave that here so you guys can look at it. I'm going to pull up the Orange County information. But yeah, so real quick, guys, how is my audio? How's the video? Anything jumping around? How's it looking, guys? All right, Orange County Clerk Courts. We're going to go ahead and search. All right, search all. Definitely not a robot. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Look at all these entries. I mean, he literally has 75 different cases. 75. You know what I'll do too? Let's go over that first one, his first felony, which was here. We'll go over the complaint on this one because it's hilarious. So this one is impersonation of law enforcement, and this is a third-degree felony. This is probably when he was getting his master's degree, right? Petty theft. All right, let's scroll to the bottom. I know I've done this before, but not everybody's seen it. All right, complaint filed by the district of attorney. So I am scrolling down to get rid of any personal information. YouTube's really sensitive about that. All right, so on June 11th, 1998, at approximately 3:15, I, Officer Ross, met with complainant KJ at 1000 West Colonial. It's the mobile gas station in reference to a theft. Worry is the owner of the listed mobile gas station, and he, along with the witness cashier, advised me that the following in this sworn written statement: on 5/18/1998 at approximately 7:35 in the morning, Singleton was working behind the cash register at the mobile gas station. She noticed a dark blue car that she thought was possibly a Ford Taurus. Pulled parallel with pump number 2, attempted to pump some gas. The first thing Singleton noticed about the car was that it bore a large blue light on the dashboard and the long antenna near the trunk. Singleton thought that this car was possibly an undercover or unmanned or unmarked, sorry, he didn't spell it right, unmarked police car. Let's see, Jeremy exited the driver's side of the car and was wearing blue jeans and boots. Through the store window, the cashier saw that Jeremy was having difficulty activating the pump with his gas card. Feeling that he was probably a law enforcement officer, the cashier trusted Jeremy enough to manually activate the pump from inside the store. Jeremy then pumped 12.11 gallons of gas into the car that he arrived in. Now look at how much that cost back in the day. In 1998, that was $14.50. So gas was a little over $1 a gallon, which is insane. The cashier advised him that the total price of the gas came up to $14.50. Let's see. When Jeremy entered the store to pay, the cashier saw that he was wearing a badge on his belt she thought looked like was very similar to the sheriff's star. She also advised that he was wearing dark shades and had brown hair, which kind of has brownish reddish hair. Initially, the suspect presented Singleton with a prepaid mobile gas card as payment. For unknown reason, the cashier learned that payment using that particular card had been denied, so she advised Jeremy to present another form of payment. Jeremy told Singleton that he had no other way to pay for the gasoline. The cashier then advised Jeremy that he was required to pay her and that she was not permitted to allow him to leave the premises without paying for the gas. The suspect then advised the cashier that he was a police officer and that he knew the cashier could not hold him. Okay. The cashier advised me that she knew a police officer would not pump gasoline and then not be able to provide some type of payment, so she requested that the suspect provide her with state gasoline card. Suspect told her that he was called on the job. That sounds just like Jeremy, doesn't it? Hey, Pepe, good to see you there, man. He always would try to get a discount from Chili's. That's so true, because he would always have like a fake badge or something. Thanks for reminding me of the live stream. I forgot. Hey. All right. Okay, so the cashier advised that she knew a police officer would not pump gasoline and not be able to provide some sort of payment. She requested that the suspect provide her with the state gasoline card. Suspect told her that he was called out on the job early that morning and that he left the house without it. The cashier then advised that her initial instinct was to call the police. However, she decided to phone Worry at home first. Worry advised the cashier via telephone to copy down all of the personal information and then allow him to leave. This is the owner. Also spoke to the suspect on the phone, who identified himself as Jeremy. Oh no, I lost my screen. Hold on. Bear with me just a moment. Okay. suggested the owner also spoke to the suspect on the phone, who identified himself as Jeremy. Suspect told the owner over the phone that the owner could deal with this problem in one of two ways. The suspect suggested that the owner could notify the police and phone this report in as a gas drive-off, in which he would merely be slapped on the hand by a supervisor, or the owner could allow the suspect to return on the same date at 5 o'clock and provide payment for gas. Believing that suspect was truly a law enforcement officer, the owner agreed to the latter. That's so Jeremy, too. The suspect then hung up the phone and provided the cashier with his full name, home address, date of birth, Florida driver's license, home telephone number. He also told the cashier that his work phone number is which ended up being the police, or close to the police number. Should be noted that the telephone number to the Orlando Police Department complaint desk is something similar, right? So same last digits, different first digits. Cashier advised that the suspect then entered his car and left the premises and was last seen driving eastbound on West Colonial. Store receipt of the gasoline stolen, along with a store video surveillance tape containing suspect's photograph, were seized and entered into OPD property and evidence under blah, blah, blah. Due to the fact that the suspect's birthday is there, he is ineligible to be sworn as a law enforcement officer. So he was too young to be a law enforcement officer, but how are they supposed to know that, right? In the state of Florida, therefore, any claim the suspect made to the owner stated to me that the only reason he waited nearly 3 weeks to report this incident was because he believed that the suspect was truly a police officer, was expecting payment for the gasoline at any time. As of the date, the suspect still had not returned to the store, nor had he made any attempt to pay for the gasoline. And the owner advised me that he would like to press charges for theft of gasoline on behalf of Mobile. Cashier advised that she knows the suspect's identity. Should be noted that the suspect is listed as a suspect in a similar case under OPD case number, although reportedly did not claim to be a police officer in that case. He did have at-large charges filed on him for theft of gasoline from another Mobile gas station. So Jeremy obviously knows how the system works. This is so funny. Did he call him F-boy? No, he did not. That term wasn't popular yet. This is still the 90s. Let's see. Okay, where do we leave off? Okay, it should also be noted that Dewitte is listed as a witness in case number blah, blah, blah. In that case, Dewitte claimed to be employed as a security guard at the Palms Apartments in the 1400 block of Mercy Drive. Now, I actually have all of this information for this case. If you guys would like me to cover that, Ferrati actually sent me that information. It's really cool. Now, let's see. Before we move on, I'll drop a link here. I'm going to drop a link to the merch store if you guys want to check it out. All right, so if you guys want to check it out, that is the link, okay? All right, so the cashier remembered that as he drove away, she obtained the Florida license tag and then the vehicle the suspect was driving. Tag is currently registered at the listed address and assigned to a blue 1990 Dodge Shadow 4-door. Due to the above-mentioned facts, along with the sworn statements of both the cashier and the owner, I developed probable cause that the suspect with falsely impersonating a law enforcement officer in theft. Now, here's where it gets funny. On June 25th, 1998, at approximately 15:15, I, Officer J. Ross, along with Deputy Sheriff Reese of OCSO, attempted to make contact with the suspect at his residence. Upon arrival, I saw a blue 4-door Dodge Shadow bearing Florida tag number placed in the driveway of the suspect's residence. It bore flashing lights in the windshield and rear window, both in strobe and rotating format. The vehicle's trunk also bore 3 large metal antennas. The tag is a police athletic league Go figure. Tag. That's probably why he bought the car. But here's the funny part. And I know this is old. We're just covering this just for fun. Okay. Upon making contact with the suspect, he was immediately placed under arrest without incident. Upon placing my handcuffs on the suspect, an unknown white male, claiming to be the suspect's stepfather, yelled from inside the suspect's house, "Jeremy, you're an effing liar. You told me that mobile was the last one." Although the suspect initially denied any knowledge of the problem at Mobile, he later completed a sworn statement after a post-Miranda interview. In his statement, the suspect admitted that he did not pay for the gasoline he had not paid since the date of the incident. He also admitted to displaying a gold Oviedo Police Explorer's badge. When the cashier requested an alternative form of payment, suspect included post-Miranda statement that he vaguely recalled his statement to the cashier upon showing the badge. He told me that he either identified himself as a police explorer or a police officer explorer, but was not sure which. Okay, so that's his history. That is his history. All right, so let's go back to the cases here. All right, so we're going to go back to the search. So if you guys ever want to look up case information, you just go to the Orange County Clerk of Court. You input the information, say you're not a robot, and you search. This is all publicly released information. Bear with me while I pull this information up. Is Egypt living in a crappy one-bedroom apartment? Probably. See, Jennifer rented the car. Officer, get me a sergeant. I did nothing wrong. Officer, get me a lieutenant. Heard they had to do a quick sale. Yeah, I heard that too. Let's see. SJ says, I know he's in jail 7 years, isn't it? I was wondering what happened to his pretend cops in business. Yeah, so he is in jail for 7 years just from the state. I believe it's a little over 7 years. But he's also got the federal charges, which we went over early in the video, where he's got, 41 months? Yeah, 41 months. So almost 3.5 years to run consecutively, not concurrently. So, that's 85%. So he's probably going to serve at least 3 years on that one alone, and say he gets good time on the other one. He's in there for at least 7 years. Plus he's got this other open case, right? All right. So this is his open case. Let's see if we got any updates here. Now, just in case you guys didn't remember, this is what it's for. It's for organizing and planning, basically a fraud scheme, right? Jeremy was organizing fraud, false and fraudulent motor vehicle insurance applications, setting up a fake accident scene and so forth. Now, there's that email correspondence that Jennifer put into the record. So this is when it was officially put into the record here. And then the letter was here on the 16th. They officially put it into the record on the 21st. And it looks like we have the trial coming up on the 16th. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but this is one where they tried to do some plea negotiations and it ended up getting kicked back. Right? So regardless of whatever may have happened, they were trying to give him, time served and a slap on the wrist, but the judge said no. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Osceola now. Osceola Clerk of Court. Okay. Let's see if we got anything going on here in Osceola. Okay, great. You're closed on. Search case information. Okay, definitely not a robot. And we're going to search. Is there any more phone calls from prison to Jennifer and wife? And is Jen still in the picture? I heard Jen had her own YouTube channel. First time I caught you live. Hey, Alex. So great question there. So Jennifer took down her YouTube channel. She is no longer friends with Jeremy because of this one here. I'll show you that real briefly. So this is something that she submitted to the courts. And if you go to the clerk's office, you can see it. I have not emailed Jen yet. I've been dealing with another situation. YouTube's trying to remove my monetization again. So I've been dealing with that. But I will. Don't worry. Okay, so yes, there are more phone calls coming. Last time I talked to Fraudy, he said he's got a lot of good stuff coming. In fact, hold on, where's my phone? So Fraudy had texted me letting me know. Where is it? Fraudy. He had that information come. So he had told me before that he had Jennifer's deposition coming, as well as his parole officer, which he already released the parole officer one. He had also mentioned that there were some other calls and stuff coming. So there's a lot of stuff coming in the works. It just takes a little bit of time for it to come through because it's a lot of editing. You have to cut out certain stuff. There's a lot of hang up calls and stuff like that, right? So Jennifer submitted this. I'm submitting the statement for the record as a cooperating witness in the above referenced Orange County felony matter involving Jeremy Dewitte. Writing to inform the court of retaliatory and false filing the defendant submitted in a separate case in Osceola. So basically what happened was Jeremy was trying to throw her under the bus, saying Jen rented the car and Jeremy had nothing to do with it, never drove the car, never saw it, never anything. She just used his credit card to rent it, which is not true. So yeah, that's what's going on there. If you go to my last live, I actually read the entire thing out so you can get all the information, Alex. And I literally go through this whole thing in detail. But basically he says that Jeremy's threatened her and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Yeah, Jen Motion is classic. You know, I wonder if she's going to flip-flop on it, but who knows. Okay, so let's see. What do we got here? We've got one open case. Now, just keep in mind, he's got 12 cases here and 75 in Orange County. 75 cases. It's insane. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Jeremy won't be able to remotely do anything like that again. His probation will be strict. I agree. All right, let's see. Striking smooth. I hate to say it, but Tony should have known better. Jeremy gave him tons of red flags, but he gave him money anyway. Yeah, Jeremy played on his heartstrings. So he made up the story about the kids and about how he lost a child and all this stuff. He did. We all know he did, right? Okay, so Jeremy still has this one open case in Osceola County, and it's for all the same stuff. So we're going to go ahead and open this one. And see what's going on. Okay, so 2 counts of failure to register. And hearing held, hearing canceled. Let's see. Okay, so they put an excerpt of the jury trial proceedings testimony of James Woods, which is the parole officer. Oh, this is the one he was not guilty. Oh, that's right. I forgot he was found not guilty in this one. How funny. I forgot about that one. My goodness. See, the guy goes to court so much, it's hard to remember all of them and keep them straight. Okay, so this one was reopened, and I think this is the one that's reopened because Jeremy's contesting it. This is the one where he says that they're challenging every ruling and every witness. I mean, everything, every ruling, everything. See, Jeremy will take advantage of anyone, young or elderly. Let's see, is Jeremy still going to trial for insurance and credit card scams? Yes. So Orange County, he's going to trial. And it's supposed to be here on the 16th. Hopefully Shane will go so he can report back to us kind of what's going on there. But yeah, so it's organizing, planning, intentional motor vehicle collision, which is a second-degree felony. Can anybody put in the chat below what that entails? I'm curious to see. All right, let's see what else is going on. So yeah, he's going to prison for longer. I mean, he's going to be found guilty of this. There's so much evidence in here. But yeah, so for this other one, Jeremy's trying to reopen the case and basically say that Jennifer rented the car. He's trying to throw Jennifer under the bus or trying to use her as a scapegoat. SJ, is he flying to court in a parachute? Yes. Definitely. He might pop a riser. This one, Helen, yes, I remember that. And said she slipped on water. That's crazy. Let's see. Militia, what did you ask at the vault? Oh, what a second-degree felony would cover. How many years? Does anybody know, or can you... or can you look it up for me and put it in the comments? This one I can't do because I'll get in trouble with YouTube, unfortunately. But it's really easy to find if you know names. Let's see, right, Fallujah. Yeah, so I mean, if you look at Jeremy's record, right? He's been to prison so many times, and everything he said is just completely untrue. He said he was a major in the Army, that he served in the Middle East, and then he said he was a contractor, and he jumped into Fallujah and popped a riser and all these fun things, right? Purple Hearts, everything. He even got himself a fake uniform, and none of it's true, right? Even all the stuff that he swore to in that affidavit, none of it's true. You know, in some things he'll put some college, and then he'll put that he has a bachelor's degree, and then some things he'll put that he served in the military, and then some things he won't. You know, he's all over the place. Christopher DeSantis said, "I wonder if he's leading the Memorial Day parade in prison." That's funny. Marie says, "Is Amir still a lawyer?" He absolutely is. Okay, so here we go. While some states may offer a range 2 to 8 years, others could impose sentences of up to 20 years or even life imprisonment, depending on the specific crime and state laws. Wow. Accidental Esquire, there's my guy, or girl. Secondary felony in Florida, 15 years, 10K fine. Okay. That is good to know. Hopefully Jeremy will find true love in prison. Now, if you guys don't remember, his Flickr account had some interesting content in there. All right, we've been going 43 minutes. Anything else you guys want to see while we're still live? Let me know. Let's see. I'm going to go down here. Let's see what this order of the court is. March 4th, 2025, court granted appellate's motion to supplement the record on appeal. The lower tribunal has not submitted a supplemental record to this court within 20 days from this date of order. Appellant shall ensure the lower tribunal clerk transmits the supplemental record or alternatively file a response that shows why his appeal should not proceed without supplemental record. Okay. So some procedural nonsense. Okay. Acknowledgement of designated transfer previously. Okay. Prison parade is a giant human centipede. Don't forget Jeremy's Craigslist post. That's right. Okay. Index, record of appeal, certificate of court verification, resubmission. Electronic appeal. Let's see what this one is. Okay, so it's just appeal. He must be bored sitting in prison. Yeah, so Jeremy's going to try and fight it. He's going to try and fight it the whole way. Is he talking to Rania yet? From what I've heard, no. No talking to Rania. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing the screen there. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody coming, showing up. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Let me know. See, Chris says, wonder if he had to move into his mom's house after he gets out. Absolutely. He's going to have to move in with his mom's. Sale of the house and all that profit is going to the state. No, Vidler messed up on the charge, but it was harsh to lose his job. He was just trying to stop Jeremy. Yeah, I agree. So Jeremy definitely overstepped. Now, from a friend that I know that used to be a local sheriff deputy, told me that Vidler would go up to the line but never cross it. So yeah, let's see, civil defense candidate. So he's got so much going on here. Would love a full chronological history of his crimes. I would too, and in fact, that's something I've discussed with PT and Fraudy, and PT actually sent me his PDF, or not PDF, his Excel version of the different crimes. He's trying to put that in order, but dude, that's going to take a long time, especially with all, because some things don't get charged right on time. It's easy to go in order of how he was charged, but that's different than what he did. ChatGPT does a list of his crimes. Really? Interesting. Get some recent prison calls. Jeremy's phone calls are pure entertainment. Yeah. Is he only talking with the moms? This is what I know for now. Yeah, that's for sure. All right, let's pull up ChatGPT and see if we can't get Jeremy's crimes. ChatGPT. Okay, official ChatGPT website. And I'll pull it over here and share. Share screen. Bear with me. ChatGPT. Share. Okay. So, Jeremy Dewitte crimes in chronological order. Look at that. Wow. Nearly 7 years in prison, failing to register, and then 41 months in federal prison. Wow. Now, this number is off a little bit, but I suppose it's, let's see, more detail. Oop. Let's see what it does. Search in the web. Okay. Oh, got the Dr. Phil show. So that's pretty good, but he has 75 offenses, right? So that doesn't give us everything. Now watch this one. Did Jeremy Dewitte serve in the military? No, did not serve in the military, despite his claims being U.S. Army Special Forces veteran who participated in the Second Battle of Fallujah and sustained injuries during a parachute jump. These assertions are false. In reality, Dewitte has no military service record. He was incarcerated during the time he alleges to have served. Dewitte has been known to wear a military-style uniform and display unauthorized military decorations and practice commonly referred to as stolen valor. In one instance, he was photographed in a uniform that appeared to belong to his father, who served in the Army from these dates. Fabricated military background has been subject of public scrutiny and legal consequences. Okay. Thank you, ChatGPT. Let's see. Shout out Germany. Oh, Ron, hey man, good to see you. My guy. Shout out from Germany. F-Boy1. Okay, F-Boy1 for the channel. Let me write that down. F-Boy number 1. Hopefully you guys like the shirts. Remember, there's a bunch of different colors and stuff. You better figure it out. Let's see, he couldn't join. Yeah, he couldn't join the military because of his past, right? So even if he wanted to, he couldn't have joined because he was a felon at 18 years old. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up here. Ron, scroll back to the beginning and listen, my friend. Don't forget to like the video. Like that video. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Seeing as I am in the UK, for some reason, there are sites I can't access. That's weird because it should be worldwide. Because I did it worldwide. Ron, I'm back. Yeah, so go to the beginning, Ron, and listen to the whole thing we went through as federal charges and kind of what that entailed. I just don't understand how twisted that family is. Neither do I. I don't think anybody does. Oh, hold on. Somebody said ChatGPT Sergeant Vidler. Let's do that real quick before we go. Entire screen. Okay. All right. Let's just start a new one here. ChatGPT. Keith Vidler background. Okay. Look at that. Boy. I can assure you I would not show up on ChatGPT. Bear with me, I gotta share the screen. Sorry guys. Share. I wouldn't show up on ChatGPT. I'm not that interesting. You invest significant in business, $700,000 worth of equipment. That's crazy. No one's using Google now. It's all ChatGPT for sure. Let's see. Next stream, maybe we can search for others in the JD universe. That would be cool for sure. All right, guys. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to leave your t-shirt ideas in the comments. I will pin a comment to the top of this channel, this video, with the link to the merch store. It's also in the description. If you guys want to support the channel, it's the best way to do it is to buy a t-shirt. You know, I don't make a lot of money off it, make a couple bucks, but really appreciate you guys. Let's see. See how mad Jeremy gets when he pulls it. Oh yeah, he gets really mad when you do that. He and his claims about it are totally false. That's something we'll be going more into in the future. But guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining me here. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here, and I'll catch you guys on the next one soon.